Hello everybody and welcome to another tutorial in camera and lens repair, and this will also be about a lens. And it is, well, I will actually try to remove old fungus in an old Konica HEXANON AR 57mm f1.2, and it's the AE version. Let's have a look at this old fellow, which, well, by the way, it looks nice with the glasses. But if we look a little closer, we'll probably see some, it's fungus. Yeah. Somewhere inside, and if we turn it around, we can, well, I know it's difficult because of the light, but we will, you can see there is a lot of stuff going on in here. And if we look a little closer to the front, it's really difficult to see for the camera. But around the edge here, there is also a lot of fungus. And also on the back lens, the very last, you probably can see somewhere here. So I would like to try to actually remove it. Yeah, let's do it. I need to go into the from the front, take out the front lens group, take it out. And to do that, well, I will need to take off the nameplate here. And I actually have a sneak peek inside the lens to see what's going on, how it is assembled, and what tools I need to not spending too much hours to figure out what kind of what's going on inside. Now, to take off the nameplate, it sits quite tight, so we'll need a cotton bud and some isopropyl alcohol. And of course it's the normal kind of with the thread lock on those. So we simply add isopropyl alcohol around the edge where the thread is, and simply let it suck into the thread, and it will come around all the way. And then we'll now use a 70mm, yeah, I know it's difficult to see, a 70mm rubber tool, one of those gray ones you can buy on the internet. And it sits quite tight, and I try with the rubber cone here, but it doesn't really fit on, so I would stick to it. So what I found out, better have this cap on, what I found out is if I just press and simply turn, it will not. So one way I have to do to simply press it on and go the other way around. It will say screw it on. Well, it sounds silly, but you see, you can, by twisting it and then turn it, it will be, well, sometimes it actually helps a lot. And it still sits tight. Well, I didn't screw it that much, but we can try to, and then unscrew it. And you see, then it comes loose. So nothing special about that. Just, I mean, this is all metal, no plastic inside. So, and that's it. Now, the next ring is the front ring here, which sits with 1, 2, 3 screws. And this is a Japanese lens. well, it actually said here on the lens made in Japan. Now, and that's why we have to use a JIS screwdriver. Yes, you see, it's not a Phillips screwdriver, it's a JIS. So let's, I mean, you can see there are some lacquer or so on the screws, but it's only to prevent them from coming loose. So we can just unscrew it, no problem with that way. They are quite small and very short. And as I see it, it shouldn't be that much of fungus in this lens, but to get into it can be the challenge. Now, before I take off the actual ring, one can set a mark here on the inside, just like here, and in line with the index mark, so you know the position. And I think this shouldn't be a problem. It doesn't matter where it sits, but who knows? Well, no, it's not a problem, but it's better to be safe. So now we look actually into the front lens group. I mean the very front of it. It sits with a ring attached to the inner in here. And for that we will use a rubber tool number 6. In this case, hope you can see it, it's number 6. It's the biggest one of those cones. And you simply press it on here so it come around the edge. The problem is that it can't be that the ring come loose, which yeah. Well, the front ring came loose instead of the whole front group, but it's not a big deal because you see we still have a lot of edge here for the rubber ring, for the rubber cone to fit on here. So now I can put it on here and then press like hell, especially not only press down but also press on the side. That's very good, and hopefully it came loose. And then I can put the ring on for now. Or we could just do the glass. Well, I think I will do that. So it's done. See, you maybe can see it. Yeah, I know it's really difficult to see, but there is a lot of. We'll use a small torch so we can see what's going on here. Wow, there you have it. A lot of fungus. If I turn it over, maybe it's easier to see. Now here you have all the spin, I mean the web in here. Well, a lot of fungus. Not only one lens, but I think there might be 2 lenses, lens elements that has the problem. But for now, I will just take a look at here. Is it only on the front? Yeah, you can see on the edge of the front lens itself. It's difficult to see when you only look here, but if we put a torch through it, you can see around the edge there is a lot of fungus. Wow, not good. But is it possible to do something with? Well, we'll try to fix it. And for that I need a rubber tool to put the lens on. I mean, we have to have a kind of a stand where the lens can be put on. So I think the 56mm would be a fine solution. And I will simply take off the front lens by using the normal lens sucker. This is from Japan Hobby Tool. No, I'm not sponsored by any company, so that's get that clear. Now, take it off and just wiggle a little. But before we actually take it off, I will just set a mark. And with a pencil, I'll just set a mark here, down here. And I will also set a mark up here. So we can always move it after that. I think it won't be a problem. So now you can see here, wow, it looks really beautiful. Whoa, oh, nice. And I need to put this where? No, let's see. It's mostly, yeah, you can probably see it over here and a lot of over here. Wow, almost around, I mean, around the whole lens. Maybe this is too big. I think I will do this. No, this one. This is fine. So, and just put it on here. And then we can try with some lighter fluid, but it is fungus. So normally I use hydrogen peroxide, 3% from the Apothec, which is quite good, especially together with a lens tissue. Those are called PEC-PAD, which I really like. There's a lot of other ones which probably do the same, but this is what I got years back. So we simply add a lot of hydrogen peroxide, and yeah, every time I use this stuff, I'm surprised how good it is. So we can just move it around. Don't press too much. There's no need for doing that. Just the very little around the edge. And since the lens sit in the mount, I will also try to use it on the inside of the of this mount on the front, just to prevent it from coming back. So I will simply use some around here. So we can just wipe it away, if there should be any. But I don't think it's not that big problem when it sits on the mount here, since I mean it's old. So let's see how good it is. Well, actually the lens looks much clearer, but is the fungus away? Yeah, we don't know yet. So I would like to use some lighter fluid as usual, because it will take away the old whatsoever was on the lens. Not the coating. The coating will still, I mean, the coating is much harder than you think. So don't be panic about it. So I will simply just add some lighter fluid and then move around very, very gently. And hopefully. Yeah, well, there was something on the front, the very front. But what about the fungus? Is this still there? It doesn't seem to be. Well, all those marks, it's on the very front, but the fungus is actually gone. This is only dirt on the front, what you can see. So I will just give it another go with the lighter fluid and say that's all fine. So then gently, 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 and then so out. Wow. Well, it looks like new. If you see away from what is on the front of small hairs and so on, it's not inside the lens, it's on the outside. So the fungus is gone. So how about that? That's not bad. But I think, well, I will just put it on again and then do the, well, maybe I should do it in a different way. I think I will just do so. And then try with some lighter fluid on the front. So. And there are probably other solutions for cleaning a lens, but I think this is actually working pretty good. Wow. I'm surprised. Yeah. So how about that? That's pretty good. Whoa. That's really surprising. It is. So I can simply put the lens into the mount again and hopefully say that's all fine. The funny thing is there will always, I do not have a clean room, but there will always be some small hairs and stuff. But for now I think it will be fine. Yeah. So I think I will continue with the back of the front here. The next lens element. This ring, I discovered this ring can be quite irritating to put on because it's very thin aluminium. So here we are. This is just for secure the lens, so it will not just fall out. Now the back here, we can just set a mark here somewhere. Doesn't really matter. Where's the other mark? There was something. Yeah, when we are here, I just forgot to set the mark in line with the other mark up here, which I set in the very beginning. So let's see where it is. It is actually there. So that wasn't lucky. So I'll just put the ring on again and say that's all fine. So now to the back. I have my mark here, and I will simply set a mark in here on this lens, just so I have an idea where I am. So, and then I will use a compass. Well, it could be a lens tool, but for me it's a lens tool. It is a compass, yes, and it can fit nicely in here and sits tight. I haven't been into this part of the lens, so I will just use some isopropyl alcohol and hopefully soften the. Seems like there are some glue around here, and let it suck in and soften the whatsoever was here. Let's see if we can take it apart. Oh, wow, sits tight, but it's just a few turns. Wow, looks pretty good. You see, if you use a lens tool, that's what I see now. If you use a if you use a lens tool, think of how pointy the tip are. And if we look here, well, it's quite thick aluminium, but if the tips here were too thin, it will go through the holes and into the glass. It had not happened here because the tips here are not that pointy. So make sure. Now then, maybe I should just take this lens element and see what I can do about it. It is quite dirty, but I'm not sure if it's only in here or also the next surface, the front surface of this lens. But I will give it a go. So I will try to use lighter fluid and see what I can do about it. So a lot of it. Oh, wow, it's quite deep. This wow, nah, not good. Too much dust. But we can just give it another go, and hopefully it will be good. Is it any better? Well, a lot of things has happened, but I'm not sure what it is. Or is it on the front of this lens. I'm not sure about that. So maybe I should use some hydrogen peroxide and give it a go and see how good it will be. I think it's quite interesting. I know it's a slow video, but so it is when do that kind of stuff. Well, it's all wet, and we can just give it a go. So, wow. Okay, I think it's fine for now. Mostly is on the front, on the very front element. So I would say I'm quite surprised with the hydrogen peroxide. So I'll just put it together. Let's say that's nice. Yeah, it can be a little challenge to put in this ring here. Click. It's good when it says click on the thread. Yeah, and then I can use the lens sucker to move hopefully to move the lens element. Yeah, it's good. So, sits there. That's all fine. So, yeah, it was just some dirt on the front. So, oh, what a difference. What a difference. But are there still some fungus? I think there is. On the front of this lens, so I need to take it out again. Damn. It didn't look there was so much, but well, let's see. So I flip it over and let it fall into the ring. Oh. But where is the damn fungus? Is it on this element? No, not here. Well, there's something here. Oh, is it on the next? Oh. Oh, sorry for the strong light. I think there isn't any. No, it doesn't look like there isn't any fungus on this lens, and I think it was all gone. Yeah. It looks like yeah. So I'll just put it in again and say that's all fine. And my mark is over here. There it is. So I'll just put it in again and let it fall into place. So that's all fine. I can put this ring on again. So there. Now that's all fine. Wow, it looks pretty good. So that was the front, and well, I can just put it in again, say that's all fine, and then put the lens and the front and everything in place. So, and then continue to the very back. Where is my mark here? My index mark. And put that in here. So there's already a big difference between what it was and the fungus is gone. I think it's pretty amazing how good the hydrogen peroxide is to do that kind of stuff. So on with the front lens. Not the front lens, the front ring. Yes, it was. So, and so we'll just do this. That's all fine. Now we go to the back, which is a little different story. Underneath here, there are a little, there are 2 pins underneath here for the aperture click. It's not so good, this aperture ring, but now we take out the 4 screws here, and we have to set it on AE before we unscrew it. And then unscrew the 4 screws. So there. And keep a finger here and a finger here on the front, and press down the mount, because if you just take it off, something will happen, because underneath here and here, in this case underneath here and here, there are two spacers, and they are used to be adjusting the lens for correct focus on the sight. So now we lift off the mount here by you see there's a pin over here, so we have to lift the mount up like this, and we will do so. Hopefully lift it up a little and then pull it out, press down on the aperture ring, and then take out so, and then you see here what's underneath. There are actually, in this case, there are two spacers. One sits here. It sits actually up here. And this one sits, oh, come on, it sits over here. They have different colors. When I opened the lens, this was some black on it, and this has some blue on it, and they are probably different thickness with, I think, so don't rush too much with when taking it apart. And since we have that clear, I also set a mark here with two different colors. So one, the blue was over here, and the black one was up here. So when I put it on, it will flip around, and the black will be up here, the blue will be here. It could be different in your lens, so make sure to take a closer look on it. Now, take good care of, there is a little pin here, and there's a little pin here. It's a pin that goes, we can just lift up one of those to see, so you can see what it is. It's a tiny pin. Underneath here there's a spring. We can also lift that up. There's no need for taking it out, but we'll do it anyway. So use the tweezer to pick it up. A tiny spring. And there's also a tiny steel ball. And we can lift it up by a 2mm JIS to just pick it up. So you can see the tiny steel ball. And since we have it here, if somebody loses their steel ball, so we just can figure out how big is it actually, and what the diameter of this is. Almost 2mm, 1.79. Yeah, 76. 1.76 should be fine for this steel ball. And it's the same for the other side too. So we also take that out. It's the same. So pick up this one. And we will also take the steel ball out. And just to be sure, what diameter is it? Well, it's actually the same, so no problem, as you can see. So it doesn't matter how they sit. So now we can set the focus. I mean, if you want to take out the aperture ring, you can do so, but we just need to take that clamp out here and then lift it up. But I won't do it, but I will do that here. This one here, that pin, which goes through the mount to the back. I need to take that out to come in and take the very back lens group out. So I need to set it to infinite, near end, 1.5 millimeter, and have a good grip on the aperture ring. In that way I can take out the little pin here by unscrew this. Tiny countersunk screws, and the other one too. So don't lose the screws into the lens, into here. So now I can set the lens, the focus ring, all the way to infinity that you see here. Then the lens has come out, the back lens group has come out, and in that way I can use the number, this is too big, so it must be the number 4, which you can see here. It will fit quite good over here, and simply press it down and have a good grip. Sits quite tight, but not really a problem. Then we can lift out. It's the most infected lens part, so we will not use the front here. So now it will be very interesting to actually see how bad is it. It is really bad, I can tell. If we have a closer look on this here, it's difficult to see. You can see there is a lot of fungus in here. I'm not quite sure how much it is on the very back, but there is also a lot of dust and dirt in here. So, but as you can see, there is a lot of things going on here. Now, we need to take off the ring here that hold the whole the lens elements in place all the way in here. So unscrew this, and it's also good to set a mark here. I have already done it. So we need to set a mark here, and also a mark here on the very back lens. And for now, I could use my lens tool to use here on this ring, but I like to have a more safer thing. So this is a hole saw. It's 37 millimeter diameter, which I have filed and grind 2 pins, which can actually go in here. It's also useful for other lenses, which I've done many times, and the 2 pins fit quite snugly in here, and so it is. So I can just unscrew it. It sits quite tight. I put too much force on it. Now, I will just use some isopropyl alcohol on this retaining ring, because then it will make it a little easier to unscrew. Sometimes it doesn't need a lot, but there's no reason, I mean there's no idea of putting too much force on when you can just soften the thread lock a little. So simply put the tool on and hopefully it'll fit. It was better the other way. So, and now I can, it came loose. Just unscrew it. So, out with the ring. It will be interesting to see how much fungus is inside here. And I can just pop this lens out. It's not so much in here, but how much is it actually? We can put it on here. How much is more on the very back? It's more like dust and dirt, but there is something on the very back lens, but I think we need to do something with it. But it's more on this lens. How much is it actually here? Oh, here we have it. A lot of fungus. But is it on the front of this lens group? There's something going on here. Not so much. I'm not sure if it's the lens separation, but well, let's give it a go. We can just put it on a good stand and see. I think this was actually fine. Yeah, it fits okay. So the interesting thing is the hydrogen peroxide. And this is also a very deep curve. The concave part of it is quite deep. So let's have a go. It's interesting. Just a very light finger. So, and if we can just wipe away the rest of it. Yeah, I need to use some lighter fluid to take away the rest of it, which is also good. We have here. To get rid of the, so. I think it will be so good. I mean, it will not only be good, it will be extremely good. So, like we saw before, there was a lot of fungus, but how does it actually see now? Whoa! It's surprising. There is something on the front up here. So I need to take that out. I mean, the fungus is gone, which is actually fine. but I need to get rid of whatsoever on the front here. And I think I will just use the lighter fluid to see what it can do to get rid of that. So there. So there. Whew. Now that is interesting. Okay. There are, since those lens, I mean, this is a cemented lens. It's 2 parts, but it looks quite nice, but between the 2 lenses there are something which I cannot remove. So yeah, there is some haze. Well, I cannot remove it, but it doesn't really matter to me. This is amazing how good it was. The result in this case. But what about the next? Because we need to take that out. So I need to push it out. Oh, this all the way out. It should be, there are 2 lens elements in here. And some kind of a rusty ring. Yeah. Now, things is a bit tricky. So if we look here, it's kind of rusty. So that's maybe why it is so bad. The 2 lens element, whoa, that is not good. Well, I need to do them all. This is completely flat on the back, but on the other side it's convex. The next lens element, well, is actually opposite. It is flat on this side, but convex on the, it sits against the 2 lens. The 2 lens elements sits against each other, and they are both the convex side. This ring here looks a bit not so good. So well, not so good. But I think I will take 1 lens at a time, just to make sure nothing serious will happen. But we can see here, there's really a lot of fungus going on here around the edge, and hopefully we can remove it. But I need a smaller stand. This is too big. I need this, probably this one. No, this one is fine. Yeah. It's really good to have those rubber tools. So, and I think I will go for the inside first. Yeah. So, now we see how much fungus is on. So let's just do it. Another go with the hydrogen peroxide. Interesting stuff. So, will it be removed? It's a bit nasty, this lens element. Now, let's see what's happened. Well, I think I will just do the inside also. So it's, I mean, I think there's also some fungus. And then I can wipe off the stuff after that. So now we can just take a look. How good or bad is it? Sometimes it is not. There is something, but it's more kind of a haze like. So well, I just need to change battery, so yeah, I will be back. So let's see what's going on. Yeah, I think it will be, yeah, I think I will just do the very back first with lighter fluid, and then do the inner part. So, and I think the fungus is actually gone as I see it. Yeah, the lens definitely looks much better. And then we can do the inside. So it will not remove the haze. It's more the lighter fluid, I mean the hydrogen peroxide, that will do that. But the lighter fluid is really, wow. Yeah, I think it's fine for now. Yeah, it will not be any better. There is something on the, yeah. Well, I try my best. But then I can put this into the spacer here and do the other. Do the next lens element inside the lens. But how bad is it actually? Well, I will not do anything about it. No. There's no need for that. There might be some dust and dirt which we can wipe away. But there's no need for doing anything with that lens. So I'll just put it back in. Always something on the back. Okay. So there. Yeah, that's all fine. So I'll put it in the mount again and say that's that. Which I'm quite happy with. And is there anything I can put in here? Yeah, this fine. The 35.5 millimeter can actually fit in here. So I can put this, the very back in here, put it over, just like that. So, and then this spacer in here can fit on. So now I think I will be able to, since all lens element is actually fine, just need to find my mark. It's here. And the other mark is here. So I think I'll just put it in. Wow. Looks really good. Put it in here. How good is it? Yeah. I mean, to me, it's actually fine. There's something on the back with well, you see, it's not a new lens. Don't expect it to be super wonderful, but it's fine. Much better than it was. So I'll put the retaining ring on again. Whoa, fits nice and snugly. And I will just move the lens a little out of the mark, because when I tighten the retaining ring, the lens will come up to the other mark. I mean, hopefully. So there. Going a little backward. So now. Yeah. That's all fine. Hold on a second. Need a little adjustment. Just a tiny adjustment. So there. Now. So now it's fine, and well, then I can just put it into the lens body. Of course, there should be some small stuff. Put it into the lens, and I think we should be fine for now. Click. So, and then number 4, rubber cone, and tighten it. So, then set the lens to near end, so I can put the this little aperture connection pin in here. So And the other one. I'm actually very surprised with the result in this lens. So you can see there is almost something you can do about it if there is fungus in a lens. Many times I've done this and I'm surprised every time. It's just amazing how good the hydrogen peroxide is. So put the two steel balls in. They can be quite annoying. So the small springs, and if you look here, they are different in the end. If we take a closer look here, it has to be not the cutout when they have cut off the spring. It needs to be the other end, which is more flat and actually fit better to the tiny pin here. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it sounds really good. Like the lens, I mean the steel ball just have to, I mean it's round, so it doesn't matter how the spring is sitting. Hope you get it. So this one can sit, no. And then we can just pop it in. So, and now again, let it stay on the AE. Because then we can put the two spacers in here. So there. This is the blue one. Oh, no. Well, so this is a smart way of attach a spring. Just let the so it works pretty good. So, and now we can put on the mount, but do yourself a favor, attach a screw to the screwdriver, and in that way it will be so much easier when you have put on the mount. And we start by putting on the mount over this this part here for the aperture click, and put it in here. Align the screw hole over to here, and the aperture connection pin also in this gap here. Now put it on here. You probably can use a screwdriver to press down here and flip it under, so it sits like this. Now align the screw hole so there will be one screw hole that is really good, and then we also need to have the aperture pin over here, and then we can lower it, but need to twist it a little so the holes are here, because the two spring underneath here also have to stay there. So we can if you have two screwdrivers, you can just load 2 screws on. It will make it easier. So then I can press down the mount and it fits snugly. Then attach screw over here and attach screw 180 degree. Don't lift it up yet. We have to put at least the 3 screws, at least where the 2 spacers are. So, and the last screw. So, and then, wow. I mean, that's amazing. It's so much more clear. It's just amazing. I mean, well, some of the lenses in here was not so perfect, but there was haze on it, which I couldn't do anything about. But look how good it is. That's just amazing. There are just a few fragments in front here, and there was also something on the back here. But I mean, that's amazing. And the aperture is also working. Wow, that's really good. How about that? That's just amazing. This old fellow of a fine lens with no fungus. Wow, that's all. Hope you enjoy the content and maybe can use the info in this video. See you sooner in another video when I have time. So that's all. Thank you for listening. I mean, seeing. Bye bye.